Hello everyone and a warm welcome back to the WenDirkCast with your hosts, me, Jimbo and Calva. We'll be discussing less MFL updates, transfers, developments and so much more that has gone on in the last 10 days or so really for us. One important note, none of what we chat about is financial advice. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Calva, it's been a while, it feels like, since you and I have been in the WenDirk studios. We're sort of going to do an episode on, as the title suggests, focusing on packs and prices, but almost a bit of a recap over the last 10 days or so, because it's been a while since we've been together recording.
A lot of updates. I think the update section will take maybe a bit more time because you have been away. It feels forever because we recorded this podcast with Matt like on a Wednesday and then we skipped it Sunday, so it's like 10, 11 days ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, it always feels like MFL time almost, goes faster. So you miss out on so much.
Yep.
The whole Diamond League, we have a winner already. We're going to talk about that. Marketplace, a lot of things, new users. It keeps turning, right? The world of MFL.
Never stops.
Never stops. So there's enough to talk about. And yeah, the main thing, some packs, because tomorrow is when this airs, right? If you listen on Monday, tomorrow the store opens and you can spend your hard-earned MFL. Yeah, but baby. There are now more packs, new prices. So we thought, let's talk about it and maybe some other things too.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good episode to do and recap on everything over the last week and fully charge into season 4. So
indeed, but first maybe stream talk. As always.
Stream talk. When did we streamed on Monday? I think it was streamed on Monday. Very good stream.
Yeah,
very nice.
You're doing quite a lot of streams now.
I feel like I'm trying to do at least two. Trying to do two a week.
Yeah,
like
nice.
getting a bit of a routine with it.
Yeah.
At least on every Wednesday or Thursday. Then try and do like a Monday as well. I try and get 2 a week. It's good, and we always get people tune in. Same crowd. Always good fun showing the games. Because I was away during the week, didn't get to show sort of the cup finals and the last match of the season. But after this recording, I'm going to try and do like an hour and a half, an hour 15 of the playoff finals because I think it'd be fun to do that before we have a couple of days break or a week's break or so, if not longer, of games. But obviously, the big one will be Wednesday, the 12th this week, will be the first pack drop of season 4. Big. So We'll be streaming as always 1 hour before the pack drop opens. When we start, we'll have the quiz, we'll have prizes, we'll have giveaways, we'll have hopefully mega players being pulled in packs, and just another bloody good time on stream with the community.
By the way, to get people excited, Blue Cat has an amazing new game mode, laser tag, where people are walking on the map and answering questions, and then you get some energy. So this is gonna be really fun if we do this as a rerun to see people like kind of doing laser tag, and you follow it. The camera switches, so it's also very good for streaming. So the camera switches to people who are active and shooting. So we're gonna definitely try that out. So if you want to be part of this experiment of playing, it's beta testing right now. So laser tag, Blue Cat beta testing for probably 2K MFL again if you win. In the second try. And the main quiz, of course, is unchanged.
Yeah, main quiz. Yeah. Bit of MFL, bit of IRL, bit of WenDirk. So, I don't make the questions, Calva, you make those questions. But if I was you, I knew that you'd probably be putting in, if I had to guess some questions, maybe some about the changes that happened between Season 3 and Season 4. Maybe, let's just say the amount of packs or that are available or anything like that. Those sort of questions are common that come up. So people get that knowledge tip top. It's a good reason to, because if you've got good knowledge, good chance of winning prizes.
Yes, and now I can ask, what color is an ultimate player?
Exactly.
Although then the whole fun is gone. So probably it will be a rare player, or maybe both.
Uncommon. Either blue or green.
Blue or green. So let's get started with the updates. What's your moment of the week?
I've got 2. So first of all, I won the cup with my second team, Atletico Espartails. That is back-to-back cups now that they've won, Season 2 and Season 3. Very much a cup side. We scraped relegation. We didn't scrape relegation. We give like 4 or 5 points clear. But the moment of the week is that the Wyverns are fucking staying in bronze, baby. Woo! Get in there.
And how hard was that to stay up?
It took 3 incoming. It took me utilizing all 3 of my mid-season transfers, strengthening my squad, but I was still bottom of projections when strengthening my squad. So I didn't really move or budge myself. I think I had 842, 840 mid-season transfer, and the team above me in projections 865. So it's a good 20 overall difference. Strongest 11 there. Still managed to finish 8th out of 11th, so that's out of the relegation spots, out of the relegation playoff, which is huge. It came down to the final game of the season. If I won, I stayed up because I was playing at the time 8th and I was 9th. If I won, I stayed up. If I lost, I was automatically going to be in the relegation playoff, but depending on another result, if that team won below me, I would have then moved into the automatic relegation. So it was quite a scary one. And some of you might have known that I was away during the week and I had no signal. So I kid you not, I had to walk like 500 meters, 600 meters away from this cabin we were staying in to try and get signal, right? And I couldn't get signal. I just couldn't get signal. On my phone, my game kicked off at past. This was at 25-2. 5 minutes already gone past. I go, oh no, if I get a signal, I'm going to join the game midway through it. I got signal. I kept walking. Maybe 800 meters, just kept walking. This is 9:30 at night, just kept walking. Middle of a forest. I got a signal, and I was so scared to click on that match. I tell you, so scared. Like 70 minutes, 3-0. I have never shouted so loudly in the middle of a forest before. Fortunately, it's like a private estate we were staying, so there's no one nearby, just no one there. But so we managed to stay up, which is huge because SR Monkey from the MFL Ramble podcast has now been promoted into Bronze 8. So we'll have I think I'm listening to half their episode on the way back home earlier today. They're calling it the Wen Ramble Derby. It's a combination of our pods put together. So that's my moment of the week. But Calva, you can add to that.
Yeah,
Who else
exactly.
is coming into our league?
Yes, because I also, I did avoid relegation, but I got promotion, so I promoted to this league. So now I'm joining you with Corsair Cove, Wensen Wyverns, and SR Monkeys team. So we are now the 3 of us together. So we have like a podcast league. Yeah, like a podcast. A lot of
the pod league.
The pod league. There's a lot of derbies. Like we have a WenDirk me, and then we also have the Wen Ramble, like multiple. Then 4 of those probably. So that it will be fun, like to maybe focus on this one league as kind of a bit more content, a bit more focus on this bronze. But I'm already afraid of all those matches. But there might be some stacking.
SR Monkeys team is good. It's got it's got back-to-back promotions in 3 seasons, and I said I'm really looking forward to our games. Or I'm really looking forward to Bronze Season 4. I'm not looking forward to the 2 games that I play David in. Because he will probably whoop my ass. But you never know.
No.
A little bit of an Unai Emery masterclass here, keeping the team up. Sam Allardyce.
There's still enough upsets.
Exactly.
So it was like, this could have been an IRL MFL, but the XG of Liverpool PSG, like it can also be...
Alisson, phenomenal.
That was their first shot on goal, I think. Also, it's like...
Yeah, Harvey at 87th minute or so, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's always a chance you can always beat people. So it will be really fun. Yeah, you stayed up. I got promotion, so we tied into each other.
Huge for rewards point of view, from my sake. It's the equivalent. Me coming 8th was 8,500 MFL, whereas I think next season I get a minimum of 18,500. Like it's night and day.
Yeah, reward wise, it's
huge.
So much better.
It's huge for me. Near enough guarantees 2 uncommon packs compared to not even reaching 1 sort of thing. So.
Well, that's a great, I would say, cliffhanger for later when we're going to talk about how we're going to spend that MFL and which packs you're thinking of getting and what to do with that. So stay tuned for that in our main segment about packs and prices. Let's now talk about DDEV updates. So first, as always, about the engine. Team is actively monitoring the experimental engine you can already use for friendlies, and they're analyzing our feedback. Thanks to Finn, they enhanced situations where the goalie saves should have been guaranteed, so there's like really fumbling, and some XG adjustments, and also Andy reported some nice bugs. So thanks to them for providing feedback and spotting some mistakes. Quentin also keeps monitoring, of course, the engine, and also started integrating a new monitoring tool to make it much easier to track the engine in real time. So that is great. All these Season 4 changes, they finished implementing that and testing it, all going very well. In general, the team has started improving the automated testing. So I think this week's update is really about updating testing infrastructure and monitoring the engine to really be able to run the game properly. So that was the final thing of the update, the infrastructure upgrades, key improvements to the back end, such as about the login system, a database migration. And a heads up is that this database migration will take place during rollover day, so there will be some downtime, but it's rollover day anyway, you cannot do much. So maybe go to the marketplace, or I know people are a bit addicted to refreshing marketplace, so it will be a bit of downtime. So good to know. Any takeaways from those dev updates?
I'm just wondering how many times they're going to have to screenshot and circle that there's going to be downtime on Monday, so everyone asks, why is MFL not working?
Yes.
I happen at least twice, I reckon. Someone will ask. I like this. Seems a bit of a meme now. If anyone ever asks a question, it just gets circled in red like a gazillion times. And just, it's there, plain and simple. It might be quite nice. I don't know if it's a thing, because I've not been on the MFL website much, especially on desktop for the last couple of days. If when that does happen, MFL is down, like a little splash screen pops up website saying, oh, by the way, it's going to be down for a bit on Monday. Because if you're not on Discord, you won't know that. You could just poo your pants as to why it's not working. But it's good to hear there's always sort of as much as the tech things don't really apply to us, it's good to see that those sort of developments are still being made.
I did get a message in the inbox today. I think you too, about rollover day, right? Did you see it or not yet? So we're recording on Sunday, of course.
I've probably had that.
So they said important details, but I don't think I saw something about the downtime in there.
No, but at 4 hours ago,
Yeah, but at least a clear communication about the contracts, promotion allocation, aging, how everything happens. So that's good. We are all for in-app communication, of course. Yeah, so that's gonna happen. Today when you listen to it, it's a rollover day, and we experienced that. Now let's talk about the Diamond League. Season 3 has ended, and we definitely didn't jinx Meta. I think we saw this coming from a long way, and we were proven right at Meta Mercenaries won the league comfortably, 10 points ahead. So I think it's really Ronin Redemption, good hashtag, Ronin's Redemption. That he really did really well this season. Also amazing goal difference, 42 compared to the second best, which is 30. So really big congrats to Ronin. Shout out to him. Huge accomplishment, especially after the disappointing season, that he really built a squad that was so good in Diamond. All credit to him. And then there was a big bunch fighting for second, which ended with OM Legends just like last season taking second spot. Bichone now third, and Visa London fourth, 39, 38 points. So that was super close race for second. Joga Bonito again very good at fifth place, 36. Then Ballers. Tango had an amazing final sprint. I think they really won a lot in the second half of the season and managed to end 7th, 33 points. Okay, Sojos, Amsterdam Lions 9th, Naples Goldfarers 10th, BFC 11th, and TTP Training Grounds 12th, although right now it's been rebranded MFC Guayaquil and bought by Bill. So it's
oh really?
It's now in Plat, yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. I did look at that and go, "Where's Trust the Process on that screenshot?" And then was it must have been purchased and rebranded. But
I didn't even include it in my club update later. But so TTP Training Grounds is no more. It's now MFC Guayaquil.
Yeah.
In that team what's your reaction? Let's say to the table.
I feel like when we had Deer One, we all thought, and we also went away from Metaverse scenarios, and we said, well, like a French team will win the league, like OM Legends or Vissel London, for example. But I think we sort of wanted to get away from Rona's Metaverse scenarios. Yeah, like you said, they had a poor season last year after winning season 1. And it felt like it was you were just waiting for it to click better. Ronan was seemingly getting the performances last season, but not the results, and he's combined performances with results now. Want to just say, like, BFC Barcelona winning 4 out of the last 5. I think Big Wilbert's Tango won 5 in a row at one point to get themselves out. Obviously, at the time of you listening to this, we'll know if Dio's Amsterdam Lions make it out or stay within the Diamond Division, depending on if they beat Samba tonight. And he did well to win 3 games in a row out of his last 5 to sort of take himself out of that automatic relegation. So it's apart from Meta sort of running away with it, was a very tightly contested league, really, when you look at it. Especially from like 2nd to 7th, only 4 points in it. So
I think in the end it kind of clicked back into the natural order that we kind of predicted, and based on Bastise's prediction that unfortunately BFC Manchester, they were just not good enough squad, I believe. And also Naples Goldfeathers, they really did have an amazing first half of the season, very good start, and then a bit less second half. But I think we both expected them to be also in that group, in the bottom 3. So, and then it was kind of about the 9th spot. Yeah, and Dio had a great sprint to just end up in that playoff spot. But I think the rest is not too surprising.
No.
To be, though we have Meta as a clear winner, and then OM, Biston, and Vissel as those other 3. I think we predicted that. We didn't go back to our episode where we're predicting it, but I think we all had like those teams kind of in the top 4.
Yeah.
And then I think Sturge did again amazing season. Joga.
Yeah.
And I think I'm most impressed with Tango, with Big Wilbert really turning that around. I think. Yeah. That shows great spirit that he was able to really turn that around. And as you said, had that 5 in a row wins.
He's done very well to get himself out from that relegation scrap into 7th mid-table. But again, if you would have told him beginning of the season you're finishing 7th, he probably would have said, I don't think that's good enough for this squad. So it's interesting how, like, beginning, middle, and end of the season, your expectations and where you're going to finish completely change. But it goes to prove that with 5-6 games remaining, even in, Dio's case with 4 games remaining, because he won 3 out of his last 4, you are certainly not out of it until that final whistle goes in the final game of the season.
Indeed. So let's talk a bit about the new teams. What's season 4 gonna look like? You already talked about Dio being in that playoff. So tonight when we're recording this, you already know when this is out, but Samba FC is playing DFC Amsterdam Lions. So will Samba come back or will Dio stay? That is the big question. Will be a huge match. Then who promoted from Plat straight was MC Roma Frajoko. I'm really happy with that personally. I felt so bad
to be up there, doesn't he?
For Fraj with like 3 times or 2 times just missing out. So 3 times a charm, and he made it to time it. So I'm really curious about that. How's it gonna be? And I'm really happy for Fraj. Basil also is back. That's great. Yeah. I think also has a name from Sorare and a name people know. That's great that he's back too. And Eric is also back in Diamond with Atletico Ciudad de Mexico. So that is a lot of like familiar names back in Diamond, or names that we know or been on the pod. So that's great.
Only the one Frenchman. I think Basil's French, isn't he? Yeah. So is it French? I could be wrong.
Isn't
there.
he from New Zealand, Basil?
Could be right. New Zealand. I was about to say we don't have a full three of, because last year was it three? All three promoter sides were French last season. They were.
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were. But yeah, it's just OM Legends and
Okay, Socios.
It's still London. Oh, of course, because it's Socios.
Okay, Socios are also in there. But I don't know if Vissel also like Akane, if he's really part of that, like more like French alliance. But he is like French, right? Like Japanese French, I think. But anyway, I think this lineup, this group of teams will be really good for the next Diamond, and then another competitive team. Now we had our training grounds that is now gone with new rules. It's impossible to have such a team. So we'll have 12 very competitive teams in the league with managers that we know and that are very active in Discord. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Then finally, let's talk about the cup. Did you see this cup final?
I did watch it, yeah, because there was a little hype around the BFC
Palmer,
Mustangs
right?
being managed by Palmer, who did a phenomenal job in the league and the cup. I think they got knocked out of the playoffs for Diamond within Plat, but with getting to the final of Titans Cup is huge, especially when you consider his run from the quarterfinals was beating OM Legends, beating Let's Go Tango, beating Yoga Benito. In all three of those games, by the way, having a clean sheet, 2-1, 1-0, 2-0. So just outright beating three Diamond teams, and then losing to Bishoni Milano. I'm gutted for him, but it's a tremendous effort and a huge respect for that run. But it always, four Diamond League teams in a row is tough to beat.
Yeah, they're really amazing.
But it's a huge payout in terms of MFL as well for the DAO and for that.
You could say he was a true dark horse in this. That was a little dad joke that just popped up into my mind.
I shouldn't be laughing.
But yeah, I'm really impressed with that run, and it's fun to have like a cup fighter. We all love FA Cups or the Dutch Cup or whatever cup, like a World Cup with Morocco before, like some team that is unexpected and is beating big teams. So just a bit of a shame. He lost at final. He if we look at the stats, it was not too. It was pretty balanced. Bishono 1.1 xg, the Mustangs and 0.9. Also the same amount of shots on target. Just Bishono has just a bit better players. That's elite quality.
That improved quality just proves a bit more clinical in the final third when the chances matter, don't they?
My Polish captain superstar Maciejewski was, I think he hammered like 1 assist, 1 goal. Like those 93, 94 players, that makes a difference. But amazing run from Palmer. So
100%.
Kudos to him. Also for Plat.
100%, 100%. Yeah, to see a Plat team get to the final, that's great stuff. Just before we move to the market moves. As always, we like to do a little piece on Dirk Class and how he performed over
season 3 of Dirk.
So season 1, he was a 7.4 rating with 4 goals, 12 assists. Season 2, 7.6, so he'd gone up by 0.2 in a rating. 7 goals, 7 assists. Unfortunately, with the most games he's ever played in a season, his match rating has gone down by 0.6, so he averaged a 7 out of 10 in the match rating stat, only scoring once, assisting 6, so that's half of what he did 2 seasons ago, and no red cards, but he's beat his record for the amount of yellow cards in a season. Since season 1, he got 4 yellow cards this season, compared to his previous 3 and 1. So it's probably a little bit of a dip in performance from Mr. Dirk this season.
Knowing he was first part of like a winning Plat side, and now he was part of a struggling, sorry Dio, but that's the truth, struggling Diamond side. So not that much of a surprise. And then if you play tough games, you're gonna get more yellow cards because you need to compensate and. Frustration, maybe from Dirk.
Potentially frustration. That Dutch frustration coming out there. We'll have to see. Can he keep Amsterdam Lions within Diamond League, or will he be sucking up another season in Plat, or could he maybe force a move depending if there's relegation in there? You never know. We don't
Maybe
really
he's
know
gonna
what his
score
personality's
tonight
like.
in that playoff. He's gonna shoot them.
Yeah, 24 years old now, soon to be 25, quarter of a century, getting on now. Basically a grandpa, according to everyone else in the MFL community. So worthless. Yeah. But no, but poor season from him. But we know he's got it in the bag somewhere.
Yeah, curious to see how Dirk is developing soon. Then marketplace update, the market moves. Probably there were way more new users, but yeah, it's just too much happening, too much activity. Those are some names I found in the most recent sales of like the past couple of days. So we saw Bless, Peetvader the Third, which is like it means like Godfather in Dutch, so just translated literally to that, so it's pretty funny. Brandong95, Switz, BT Chris, TJ Garrison, Alfair, Reagan, John Doe, Flabby Mabby, Zaydodo, Nbinho, Jamwa, Milan WPCZ, and Joneers Ashman. And then as the user of the week, I put Speed. His name is Speed. I wonder if it's the real Speed.
I show Speed?
Yeah. We had Nap, and then people said, "Is this the real Nap?" And it was the real
FC.
Nap. I don't know if this is the real Speed. I saw an atrocious penalty to win it in that charity match. I don't know if you saw those clips on Twitter. They were all over my timeline.
I just like, he's a really quick person. I just can never understand.
He's terrible.
He does loads of training for football. I just don't understand how you can be that bad at kicking a football. But then again,
and then he also was on CBS of Champions League.
I saw it
Tuesday, Wednesday, and he was saying to how he believes he can be a pro. But I watched like a couple minutes, and yeah, his technique. He's fast. He's fast.
He could definitely be like a sprinter. Like he's stupidly quick.
Yeah.
You know, and if you see his backflips, he can backflip pretty well. But in terms of a footballer, he's washed. He is atrocious. But if Speed is listening,
please
don't know what to say. Don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't know if he should hype it, then we get like millions of teenagers joining.
Speed plays MFL.
When speed.
The drug.
Okay, let's move. Market for comments, uncommon. I saw another great name, Noel McGrumpface. He bought a lot of low comments. Rare players. I have an interesting one for you, Jimbo. So XVIX bought an 84 rated center forward, 22-year-old for 210. So that sounds like a pretty cheap, right, for an 84-year-old attacking player?
I think so. Yeah, I saw on the marketplace that got bought up. I saw it in someone put it in the Ramble pod. An 84 rated 16-year-old went for $200.
Really? It's like
got snapped up. So if
some new user probably is putting it on there.
I think it was a new user. I'm not even sure. I remember looking at. I think it was definitely got from a pack. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a huge bargain. Like, I'm not out for getting high-end rare players, but if I saw that on the marketplace, I would have bought it.
Buy it straight away, of course.
It's huge.
It's really
potential there.
Yeah. But this guy is also like, I think center forwards are one of the weirdest players.
It's an awkward position. Position.
Yeah, this guy, like I saw him also, but I was like, well, one, I don't play with CFs. He had like a secondary cam, but it's just weird. Like he had super high pace and dribbling, like 93, 92, both, something like that. And then the shooting and the passing is like 60. So what? He can run, he can dribble, and then when he shoots or he has to pass, he cannot really do it. Yeah. So is he then even useful for your team? Right? It's a bit like the speed we talked about. He can be super fast, but then he has to shoot or pass, and he cannot do it. So this,
it's a weird one. I find that centre forwards, they're when you get a centre forward, they're either really high shooting and every other stat is awful, or their shooting's really low and every other stat is decent. But you don't really get a decent centre forward unless it's Turto, because he's like 95 rated. That's a bit different.
It's a really awkward position. But let's see how this guy develops. Maybe with progression. He's still young, so at least he's still young. He can progress, probably turn into a Lego. So let's see. Speaking about Legos, legendary players, Dio was very active this week. For example, bought Gerd Donner, 89 rated right back, centre back, 21-year-old for 9.5. From Joe B. And NLR, a name we sometimes mention. You never hear from him in any chat or any Discord, but he's secretly building a great goal team and more Legos. And now he bought an 89 rated centre back, 19 years old, so also very young, from Sturge for 8.50. Pretty good deal there too. Then about clubs, a certain Calvinator bought Eindhoven Stone for 90 US dollars. This guy already has 7 clubs and he bought an 8th, so I don't know.
This guy complains and says that he needs to decrease his.
I saw something like a tweet or something, like planning to downsize, and it's a bit weird.
I have too many teams, I don't have enough time. Oh, look at that! Let me just increase my size.
But at least it's from his hometown, so maybe he just wanted to.
Will he remove one of his current clubs? You know, will he get rid of one of his current clubs, or will he going to keep?
Well, rumor has it he wants to ex Calva Juniors, but he just cannot do it because it's like Calva Juniors, so it's like one of the OG teams that won the first tournament, so he cannot. It's like killing a baby. You don't do that.
Don't shoot a baby deer.
No, indeed, it's too Bambi Juniors.
Exactly.
Speaking about hometowns, I don't know if Ancient is from Philly, but he bought Philadelphia Ice 90 USD. I think it's a good price for an American club. Make think thought, let's buy 3 more clubs this week. That's all he did. He has now 42, so I thought surely there must be most clubs, but Ron John Fortress Agency has 46. So the race, kind of the club race, arms race, is 46-42.
I've got to correct you there. It's actually Trust the Process was 46, not Ron John.
Oh! I made a mistake. Trust the Process, indeed, of course. It's
Trust. It's
Trust.
Fortress.
Sorry.
Ron John still has 36, but it's Trust the Process 46.
I messed that up. With reading is hard. We know from some users. So Trust the Process 46, Make Think 42. That is the current, and then Ron John Fortress is 36.
Trust the Process, Make Think, Ron John, the Blender, and then Duff is the current top 5.
The current who has most clubs race.
That's
really a lot of clubs for sure.
There's a lot of clubs for sure. Just speaking about clubs, actually, obviously there's a promo right now, which is why there's quite a lot of hot activity on the club marketplace. Looking at the air table for clubs, which says it updates daily. I'm pretty sure it feels more frequent. We don't know. There's 110 MFL owned ice clubs out there. So whether that be 110 more or less packs remaining, we do not know. But
Matt also confirmed in general, and I think also in our episode, or maybe it was when we were not recording, but he confirmed this in general, that they keep minting inactive, like the inactive licenses. They kind of put in very bad joke, in a freezer, the ice licenses and then they're stuck there until, I don't know, the owner starts maybe branding them, but then they will be auto-relegated eventually with a new division.
Yeah. So
you just mint new ice, sell them, fill up ice, and then we can have more licenses than that 110, possibly.
Yeah.
So there's not, some people said, this new division is going to be here super soon, but that might take a bit longer. But with this promo, we're moving closer and closer to the Spark.
Possibly. We didn't get much reaction from that. And I just want to quickly say before we move to Splash of the Week, I want to say, actually, I should have mentioned this right at the beginning, but a huge thank you to all of you who listened to last week's episode with Mathurin about Season 4 changes. The response we received from the episode since we released it on Monday on both Spotify and YouTube has been phenomenal. I think we had combined over 200 listens/views within 48 hours, which I think is phenomenal for sort of the size of our audience and just, MFL in general. So that's a huge, big thank you to all of you who had listened, supported, said kind words, put secret is out, the hashtag. I think probably the most hashtags you've seen in the general Discord, which is great to see. But yeah, we love doing this, and we'll keep doing what we're doing, and we'll bring you more content as ever. Exclusive content as well. Lots of alpha in there. Got some debate going about the secret project and whatnot. But yeah, just a big thank you. Slightly off topic here, off track, as I always do. Calva will put the blinders on and put me down the straight and narrow sooner or later.
Well, I almost want to react to this, that we saw some fun, suggestions. People tried out some AIs based on AI creations.
Some were good, some were sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. So some people's AI is definitely.
But we must be 100% be better than the FM regens. They look atrocious always. Like we must get better.
Yeah, they look ass.
So So that's for sure we can do a better job.
Right. So. Favorite part of the market moves. Bit different this time. Splashes of the week. Jimbo, why have you gone plural for that? Why have you gone splashes? Well, because we've got 2 splashes. They're the exact same value. Therefore, it's not splashes of the week. It is splashes. Same seller, different buyer. So, the seller, and we'll get onto this, Calva, could be a little talking point. Our man Akane, selling 2 legendary players. Tony Guillon. Yeah, bit of French in there. Roulon, 91 rated, $1,300 being purchased by Scrub. And Akane also selling a 92 rated player, Emmett White, Irish, 92 rated, $1,300 as well to Dio. So we've got 2 big legendary players for a combination of 2,600. Now, if we combine their sale values, both being sold by Akane, being purchased by Scrub and Dio. So, does that lead the question to what is going on with Akane? Obviously, someone who jumped into MFL. I'm not sure we could say feet first or head first, just the whole body first. 60,000, I think it was in a week or 10 days. I think it's probably been hard done by with Dapper Wallet. I think it's probably fair to say. I know he's big and so rare. He's been big with the MLS season starting in so rare there. So what's happening, Calvo? Do we think?
Yeah, well, the message he's been posting in player buy sell channel, and there he already twice I think he copied the same message, but it was like I'm selling these guys. They're not good enough to win diamond, so I'm gonna sell them. Right? These players cannot win diamond, so I'll sell them. So is he like really serious about it? Is he like taking the piss and he just wants to, as you say, with the Dapper wallet, he wants to get, maybe some extra money then to spend on even bigger talents, on the bigger superstars.
Could be.
Maybe buy them from Ronin and from Scrub. But he's also losing, he's losing some money. I just checked. He bought a white from Scrub. I kind of bought him for 1,853. And this was 1,300, so he lost like 550 in, was it 1 month? 1.5 month on that guy.
Yeah, so it's about 2 months, just over 2 months. Yeah, it feels like you can probably name a few clubs in real life who do that, who sell a player to another club for 60 million, then they get him back for free 2 years later. It's almost not quite a free on this case, but technically free because Scrub sold him for more and buys him for less. So if anything, he's not lost money. He's still made money.
Maybe you need to send them another message, like one of those. What's up with Akane? A couple of questions, interview request. But yeah, it's really weird. Like, is this really serious? Like, you play one proper diamond season, you cannot win, and you sell guys, or what we said.
Yeah,
Dapper is a bit of a pain, and this is one way to generate capital to reinvest.
I assume there's probably more going on behind the scenes that we're aware of. He could be selling players to then buy bigger players because he has to use funds within the wallet, within the ecosystem. Currently, you can't shift, move, deposit, withdraw, so might have to move things around. But I'm sure there's probably more going on underneath the hood there. So don't want to comment on too much. We don't make any false accusations or false claims or whatever. But it is pure speculation. But it is interesting for sure because we thought he's not done badly in Diamond this year.
I think he had some other
it's fourth,
great runs and successes.
2 points away from 1 point away, or 2 points technically from second. Only 9 points away from 11 points away from first. It's not a horrendous gap in your first full season. It's definitely something to be proud about. So yeah, see what the future holds on that one.
Yeah, very curious. So we'll stay tuned. The final thing is that he does list, his best assets on his club for pretty high prices. So it's not like he really wants to sell them. I think it's just they're out there for a super high price. But yeah, it doesn't seem like really selling out in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the final thing. Quick IRL, MFL, FPL, everything. Just a quick update.
Oh, crikey. FPL. Captain Palmer this week because they're at home to Leicester. He missed a penalty. He got subbed off and they only won 1-0. So that was an absolute travesty. If you'd just done the completely normal thing and Captain Salah, you would have bagged yourself, I think, 30 points because he got 2 goals. Max
2
bonus.
pence, right? I think. Yeah, 2 pence.
Yeah, 2 pence. Fraud, 2 pence. I think he's smashed either his... I probably get corrected by listeners. Either his previous FPL points record or he has smashed the FPL points record for a season. I think he's smashed the points record for a season with 9 games left.
I think he became the most valuable Premier League player ever, I think. So that makes sense that he also... Or I don't know, he's something like that. Like he was very valuable with his assists and goals together.
Yeah,
so
Salah,
that must be also smashing his FPL.
Salah breaks record for most FPL points in a season. Okay, and that was previously held by him 7 seasons ago. And we've still got 9 games left. Or 8-9 games left in the season. So it's 306 points, and the previous was 303. So that's huge. On an IRL point of view, Arsenal drawing, Liverpool winning. I think we said a couple of weeks ago, one hand of the title already, but now that gap is grown. Yeah. Forest beating City. Chris Wood, when's he going to get the Ballon d'Or? I know he didn't score in this. And I did actually see there's an MFL club that has their logo. We always complain about logo. I think this one is great. Mm. It's like the top 5 most voted for like Ballon d'Or winners this year, done by like an Instagram post something, and it's like Mbappe, Vinny, Bellingham, Rodri. Then it's like Mateta at the top, who obviously got absolutely roundhouse kicked last week by Millwall keeper. So. Yeah, Liverpool firmly. I feel like both hands in the league right now on the title.
There can be a fun IRL MFL if you like slot. You insult the ref, and then you have to sit in the stands, and then you can come in only at halftime to make some changes.
You can only watch an MFL game at halftime. It just gets a blank. You get a black box. I know they can still watch it, but that's the punishment. But that's from my point of view. What about you, mate?
No, I was also watching the last part of that Chelsea-Leicester game, and I hoped Leicester could still do something. But I really feel for Ruud van Nistelrooy, my fellow Dutchman. He took up the job. He had like that little 3 matches as interim manager coach. Did pretty well. Then Leicester was like, well, why not give him the job? And now he just keeps losing, but... I feel a lot of sympathy because my Casablanca Corsairs also got relegated from gold. So I know the painful feeling of keeping losing, and then you see your club in those, last positions, and the end is drawing near, and then you hope for like a little stunt, and there's no stunts, and then in the end it's over. So I felt like more sympathy for Ruud.
I think it's also funny as well that I can't remember what someone said. It was. When he was in charge of Man United, he beat Leicester twice and then goes and moves to Leicester and they're doing awful. There's some more to that where it's basically like the Leicester effect. If I think it was either one of the previous managers of Man U, they've beaten Leicester or something along those lines. But yeah, he's won 2 of his 2 league games with Leicester. The first one. And they beat Tottenham. Everyone beats Tottenham. Exactly. So it's not really that impressive. So he's basically not won at all. But
they're not playing too bad. It's not like they get hammered or that they're really bad.
They've just got Wout Fez at centre back. When you've got someone who's bang average in the Championship and was crap 2 seasons ago in the Premier League, almost going back to our couple episodes ago with insanity. It's insanity, still playing him at centre-back. Wout Fez is atrocious. Get him off the field if they want to stay up.
He is, how do you call that? not Amazon wishlist. No.
Wish, Temu,
Wish.
like what? What
Yeah, like
Temu.
Timu or Wish Cucurella, kind of.
Yeah,
Same hair.
or you could say like he's a Wish version of like David Luiz, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. When you
Cucurella,
order
I despise
David Luiz
Cucurella,
on Wish,
so
you get him. Yeah. All right, let's move on to our main segment, which is about the packs and a little bit of the prices. Let's see how much time we have at the end. Because I made a little video, and I also want to hear your thoughts, Jimbo, about how you do it, and because with the packs being opened, I think a lot of people also want to list some of those guys and kind of get some money from your rewards. But first about the packs. So there are some new packs and there are new prices. You got it clear already, the new packs and the prices?
If you asked me this a couple of days ago, right now, no. I'm quickly reloading it back onto my screen. There we go. But yeah, obviously you've got the new, the one new pack being introduced for reward packs, being that. I guess it's technically two, but it's one. I've got the limited being shoved in there, 55 to 64. And our common being 40 to 54. So they're the new introduction.
Yeah, technically they're both new, right?
Yeah, they're both new. One's still the same, like it's still called like common, but it's new in terms of what its contents hold. But obviously, as well as the limited, we've got the price reduction for legendary and rare players, which has been very good news for especially those who want legendary players, diamond players.
So common is only 600. I think limited 3k, uncommon unchanged 10k, rare 47k, top of my head, and legendary 325 something from top of my head.
325, 325,000.
Yeah. So, so those are a bit cheaper, but I think especially because I think most users are buying the free lower packs, and now you have way more choices. I think so. It's really interesting to talk about it. What are you going to do with MFL? Give those limited. Are you still even going to buy those commons? They seem like so low right now. Are you even going to buy them still? And then, free limited is like one uncommon. So that also poses a nice question of what are you going to do? What would you say is like best value?
I still think that probably uncommon feels like the best value. I think uncommon's the best value. I'm not too clued up right now on what like the floor prices are, for example. Or if I look for floor price of a rarity, I'll like exclude the wing backs and the goalkeeper because I don't really feel like they should be included in the floor because they can drop it down by quite a bit. But it still feels like uncommon has the best value to it, in my opinion. Yet to see what this limited pack does if it shakes things up a bit. But that's what I think the best current value reward pack is. Do you agree? You got a different opinion?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of the uncommon rare debate. So do you get 4 uncommon or 5? It used to be 5. Now it's like it's a bit like 5 too, like just 5 uncommons or a rare. It feels like with the rare you have a bigger risk. You can have an atrocious pool, you can have a 75, and then you have a lot of great, like 5 shots with 2 decent pools. I think you got the value, the same kind of value of that bad rare pool. You can have super young ones, you can have a 74 and 73. And I think like the same logic applies to the limited uncommon. You can have a very bad uncommon in that one pack, and then 3 shots at having one really great talent, 63, 16-year-old or something. Maybe you rather have that. So it feels like you have more chances at more shots at some very promising talents instead of one bad pool. So you put like a lot of risk in one pool. That's how I see it. That maybe
I think people always want to go down. Many people will want to go down the route of, I could be wrong here about what I think many people's opinions might be, but just having more packs to open, you might think, increases my risk of getting a better player rather than, one hit wonder, rather than, it's like, buying a ticket in the lottery. You probably are, would you rather have one or three? I know it's kind of a stupid analogy because you're both after, each ticket is after the same thing here, but in this case we're after different players and different rewards and packs. But you'd always, if you had 30, you just get 3 uncommons, or 50, 3 uncommons, 4 or 5 uncommons. So everyone wants more packs.
Some people have I think in general there was some discussion with, I think it was also, it was Trust the Process or someone else, like buying so many common packs for that 600. And maybe you have one of those, was it like Belsma or something? One Dutch guy who went from common to legendary. So that can also be a strategy, that you just buy like so many common packs, and maybe you have that one guy in there who makes you legendary, and then you get your value out of it too in the long term. So but then you also play it just from a value perspective and not an actual gameplay perspective, where you might want to get a great new player for your team, or a good backup, or so. Yeah, there's many elements, but maybe instead of speculating like this, we can say, let's work with some hypothetical budgets, and then I thought we can work with our budgets, and then we first say how I would spend your budget and how you would spend my budget. I think that's fun.
Horrendous this season.
That's fun to do. So let's first do hypothetical. So let's say someone has 10k, their earnings are 10k. How would you spend 10k? 1 uncommon or 3 limited, or maybe how many common player is that? 600? It's like,
you could get like, 10, what was it, like
15,
17, 16
like
maybe,
that.
something like that, 16.
Yeah. So
I think,
what would you do?
Before I say my answer, I think it really depends on whereabouts you are in the pyramid. 100%. Like, if you are in ice, you probably go for 3 limiteds, or you just max out the commons. That's probably what people would do. But if you're in stone, for example, or even just division, or even iron, you probably want to go for an uncommon. Actively has something that can try and potentially bolster your squad. But for me right now, maybe I probably might go for just 3 limiteds. Maybe if I'm like an ice or a stone, go 3 limiteds and hope I pull like a high rated common, a high rated limited. That's young. I wouldn't want to put it all on one if I had 10k at the moment. I'd just go for at least 3 packs. I'll just go 3 limited.
Yeah, it feels like too much of a risk.
Yeah.
And I think the progression really changes things. We all think now, if you get a couple more guys, there's at least one who is very good at progressing and can already become a high uncommon maybe out of those 3 limited. Or what I might do, if it's just from a value perspective, maybe even 1 limited and then 10 commons or something. That's like 9k. And then chuck them all in some ice teams or development center and see where it takes them. But that's pure from a value perspective. If I am like in if I'm like a stone club and I have 10k earnings from a season, which is, I think, kind of realistic, then probably uncommon or 3 limited. Depends on like urgency.
Yeah.
Or if you're building for the future, maybe 3 limited, and there must be at least one of them that has kind of a good potential to later become one of your players, and the other 2 can always loan out. You can always just build up your agency, backups, something like that.
Yeah, I think it depends on like whereabouts you are in the pyramid influences your decision. And a good example would like be me, for example, in bronze. Half my team is high on commons, like 74, basically sat in tier gel. The rest of it is like 75 to 78, right? If I had 50k, which is our next number here, do I want to gamble it on a 75 rated player, or would I rather have 5 uncommons? And I think from my point of view, if I can't see myself progressing through bronze, why risk it all on one rare pack? If I hit an 84 rated player, an 83 rated player, chances are I won't keep him in bronze. I'll loan him out anyway. So he's not going to be any use to me. I could sell him, etc. But then 5 uncommon packs would be far more valuable for me because I have my second club. I guess we're fortunate in that sense. But I wouldn't mind having 5 uncommon players, ripping them. But the other factor is, are you, like you said, are you wanting to use those players, looking to bolster? Do you want to save? Do you want to actually try and maybe recoup some of your initial investment with an MFL? You know, none of what chat about financial advice, get out of the way and everything. But some people like to, take back what some of their initial investment. Would that be selling the players, flipping the packs on floaty? There's always that element to it as well. But in my case, with 50,000 MFL, I would most likely go for 5 uncommon. That's what I would do. 5 uncommon. Let's go 5 uncommon packs. Open 3. Let my girlfriend open 1 and flip 1 on floaty. That'd be the way. Like bank some earnings, bank some rewards. I want to go to the marketplace.
Spread it out a little bit.
Want to get to the marketplace and get some players and target players. Open some, couple on stream, couple like that. Let the girlfriend open 1 for a bit of luck and keep her happy, sort of thing. And that's what I'll do with 50k. Are you similar, different, all on one?
I think I could do a very similar strategy. I also think the risk of 1 rare is too high. And what you can even do, let's say you want a rare player. So you have either the chance of getting 1 rare player pack, or you buy 5 uncommons that you flip on floaty for 30. Then you have a budget of 150. And right now, with especially some older players being listed for lower prices, that 150 can get you a pretty decent rare player. So maybe to avoid the risk, why not fill your Dapper wallet and go shopping and get a targeted buy instead of a risk from a pack. So yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. I think that is probably the best approach. I think, dare I say, flipping all of it for targeting shopping is, if you're looking for upgrades and you don't want to risk it, that is the best strategy, 100%.
Yeah, because also position-wise, right? It's not
selling the best value packs and targeting who you want is the most sensible and best approach.
Not financial advice.
But also, if you want to get the maximum gains out of that, you do not sell the uncommon reward pack or whatever reward pack within the first couple of days. You hang on to it for 7-8 days until that supply drops down a bit. But if demand stays there, in theory, bit of economics here, supply and demand, that price will go up. We see uncommon reward packs go from 30 to 35. I expect them to maybe drop a little bit lower to like 25, between 25 and 30 this time because of how many they'll be redeemed. But they will naturally go back up towards the high 30s, low 40s, just for mid-season transfer window, just because of the lack of supply.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's another route, and it gets rid of some risk. And from a pure gameplay, do you want to have the best team? That might be the best threat. And then the 100k, you can almost do the same, right? You can almost do 10 uncommons and have a 300, let's say 300 USD shopping budget. Or maybe do like 1 rare, 5 uncommon, and get that shopping budget with the 5 uncommon to get another rare, but then more on your own terms. A bit of risk and a bit of like targeted buying. So I think that would be my way to go. 100k.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But then let's say it's really about us, our money. So we are, when this airs, gonna spend that tomorrow probably. So I'm curious what you would do with my earnings. So I have 218k, which sounds very nice. It is very nice.
It is very nice.
How would you spend it with that? How would you spend that budget?
Just quickly remind me what your breakdown of clubs looks like.
Well, because Casablanca relegated, it's now 2 silver. It will be 2 bronze. If Ganaderos win the playoff in 45 minutes, it will be 2 iron and then 2 stones. So it would be perfect 2, 2, 2, 2.
Okay, so but the key I'm thinking there is the 2 silver, 2 bronze.
2 silver, 2 bronze. Yeah.
2 silver, 2 bronze. I think what you should do is you should buy 3 rare packs, open 1, flip 2, buy the rest uncommons and flip all of them and buy who you want for bronze and silver. Or you open all 3 of those rare packs. I think you should at least open a rare pack in that situation.
Yeah,
because depending on where it is, you've probably got coverage. How strong is your Corsair Cove going to be in bronze? Like, is it going to compete with? It's probably better than Wyverns.
I think they're definitely Wyverns level or slightly better with the stacking I did, and there was some nice progression on that side too. So I think they should be able to stay up in bronze.
Yeah,
they could always use a bit of a reinforcement.
I mean, if you buy 3 rare packs and then open 2 of them and or open 3 of them, open 2, flip 1. If you get a lower-ended rare player, you've got 2 bronze clubs who most likely would strengthen Corsair Code, maybe both your bronze clubs. If you get high-end, you potentially strengthen your silver. So I don't feel like you waste the opening. But if you really want to go, I need 2 more strikers for silver, you need those positions. And you don't want to risk getting a 75 rated left wing back who was unfortunately 28 years old, who, big stinky, buy and flip. But
No, I think that gold team is already, or that silver team, it's now silver, is already pretty stacked. I'm even thinking of getting even more my legendary from Plat, because now promotion is just going to be extra hard and way more important in terms of MFL. So I just need to get back to gold, and I have a great team. So I think with getting those extra CBs from Plat, it's going to be a great team already, but at least 1 or 2 rares to bolster one of those 4 silver and bronze squads.
Do you think that pulling those legendaries from Platinum will earn you more MFL than the difference between coming 1st to 3rd in silver and low end in gold than it would by loaning them out to Plat again next season?
Well, maybe I sacrifice a little bit, but I just need to get back to gold because it's twice the rewards. And I want to stay in gold, and it's getting more and more competitive. So I'm going to sacrifice a little bit on that, but it's okay because I need to get back to gold. Also honor-wise,
Yeah, exactly.
My flagship team, literal flagship,
mast half down. It's being battered by the other navies.
It's like this Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow with the sinking ship, and then he steps on the docks. That was like my season. So I need to get the ship back up, fix the ship. So,
but before I tell you my MFL earnings, and what have you got in your mind already as a potential plan? Have you had thoughts about this? What you're going to be doing with the 218,000, or will you have? Do you have a plan? And the second that store opens, that plan goes out the window, or are you looking for that? I made $900 in MFL. Again, too clickbait. I don't know what you thought about it. You don't know what you've not thought about it.
I definitely make a video.
Good man.
I think I'll do similar to that video. What I did was also 2 or 3. Well, then I had a little bit more earnings because Margos was still there. So then a little bit less.
Big up Margos.
So I think I do 2 rare, rest uncommon, flip, and then with that spend a bit on what I see in the end. Probably when I build those squads, see the leaks, I miss a bit of quality somewhere, and then I try to fix those holes with that dapper I got from the uncommon. So 2 rare, 10 uncommon, I think is my way to go.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh mate, you ready for this? So bearing in mind my biggest earner is the cup, and I got knocked out round of 16 in the in Challenger with the Wyverns. And then we came 8th, which obviously, is pretty stinky for rewards, 8,500. I came 6th in Stone, and then won the cup, but the cup only won me like 4,500, 5,000. And I'd like to keep about 85% of the revenue share. I like to go for 90, but I had to sacrifice a bit more for the Wyverns to keep them up because I knew rewards would be stronger, so I needed to stay them up. I got less than half of my earnings this season compared to last season, and that's the difference basically between not getting to the final of the cup for my Wyverns. So last season, I'm going to have to bring this back up because I've got a spreadsheet of my earnings. I estimate every match day what my earnings are going to be. So season 1 was 29,000. Season 2 was 37,000. My balance now currently sits at a whopping, it's actually just over half, 21,000.
21.
So last season I opened basically 4 uncommon packs, and now I can only, if I wanted to, open 2. So, mate, it's looking rough for me this year. I'm in a boat where do I just not spend at all?
I also thought that about myself. Like, do I even spend it, or maybe save a whole season and then even buy a legendary or something? Like, I never got a legendary.
Could you open a few uncommons with yours, or buy and flip a few uncommons to get a rare play, and then save enough so you know, depending on if you do well, get promoted again through silver to gold with your legendaries. Could you then get a legendary?
Yeah, that's exactly. We didn't even consider that option. Why not just save and then splash it on the
because
next
it's so
round?
blooming hard to save, mate. That's why.
But yeah, 21. You could take two uncommon. Well, you could what you could do is 2 uncommon, flip 2 uncommon, and then get maybe an older, but a very good rare, but maybe an older that can really help you out in bronze. Because I really feel people only value the value right now, and not value what can you get out of that guy in terms of performance for your team. So maybe you can sell, and then you have like 60 to 70 USD, and you can get like a quality ultra rare, some veteran who can really shepherd you through bronze, kind of, or help you in bronze.
Yeah, no,
that could be an option.
Like, it's no surprise that I was looking at the 2 out of the 3 players that I bought during the mid-season transfer window were my top-rated players for the Wyverns in the season. I brought them in, and they smashed it. And
nice. That's good.
They were, you know, one of them was 25, one of them was 26, so I knew I'd probably be able to bring them in. So maybe it's that older age profile I need to go for. With buying with him, with loaning in. But my plan is probably to uncommon flip and try and bolster that way and target a purchase. That's what I would think I would do.
So what I said. Same.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with my wonderful co-host Calvinator in this situation.
I do wonder how happy the team is with flipping. Like, is it like a bad thing or a good thing? But yeah, as long as you put it back in the game, right? You just get funds to put back, and other people give you funds to put back. So
I think with the more rewards that happen, the lower that flipping multiplier say becomes. You know, like the $12.5 is equivalent to 10,000 MFL.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Does that then not, like I said earlier, does it then become you know, it would go lower than $30 for a resale? Now do we go down to 25? Do we keep dropping the floor a bit because there's more supply, people doing it? So
at one point it's gonna be probably better to open it yourself than to sell it.
I think we'll slowly come to that point, unless there's still the demand and people really want those uncommon packs, right? But if supply is outstripping demand, it will just slowly trickle down to $15, $20.
Yeah, and people always are willing to spend a bit more for that.
Yeah,
pack risk, that little gamble. It's a bit of a
exactly.
Thing.
Wake up in the morning. Oh, I really fancy a pack today. Let me get one off floaty for $20. Oh, I'll take that. Bang. But someone says $45.
We know a couple of individuals who.
We all know a couple of individuals. There's a saying in the UK. It's like you're 3 people away from the Queen, or 2 or 3 people away from the Queen, or 2 people away from a celebrity. We're all 1 person away from knowing who's a floaty pack addict.
Exactly. Okay, so I think that's kind of the discussion about packs. So finally, I want to ask about the prices. So I made a little video about this, how I come up with prices, tools you can use, your own experience, probably checking the floor, checking the progression premium. Do you also consider all those things, or how do you come up? Let's say you open some packs, you want to sell those guys. How do you come up with a price for them?
A combination of a lot of things, really. Like the first thing I'll look at the Ali's player info, but it's because there's so many unique combinations of players, overall age, stats. It can be very hard, and that basis off the last three. For me, usually what I do is I'll look at the marketplace, see what the floor is, but sometimes that can be hard to even obtain because there might not be a floor for that current player. Position, primary position, age, overall. So I'll try and gauge an idea with that. If I can't find a floor with those presets, I'll try and find a floor with those stats. So I'll remove the overall, for example, but go like, here's a minimum of 80 defending, 80 physical, and try and find a player with similar stats rather than similar overall. And then I'm a bit of an Airtable lover, so I'll go look at the Airtable and try and find recent purchases around there to do that. But obviously as well, and I've not used it to its full effect, there's Alexa's MFL assistant, which can help with that. But obviously I feel like doing your own research is always the best way, but using those as initial guideline is great and gives you a little like kickstart and a jump ahead.
No, exactly. I think Ali's tool gives you like the bare minimum, like at least this, but it really gets polluted with 1 cent floaty deals, I think. So, but yeah, Alex's tool is great. Alexis, the MFL assistant, to have like a whole range of sales in that ballpark. It gives you a bit of a clue. But I think this I didn't even include in my video, but I think you're totally right about those stats. With some CMs with higher defense, for example, are very rare and sell for higher. A lot of CMs have like super good passing, and then the rest of their stats is really bad. But because of that passing, they get a high overall.
The overall looks better, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have another CM who is like 78 overall, but he also has 78 physical and 78 defense and 78 dribbling. But you can also have then passing 90 and it's all 65, 65, 65. So do look at the individual stats because it's super important. Also, like defenders, they can be 65 with also 65 pace or even 30 pace and then a little bit more defense.
Yeah.
Or do you rather have a little bit less defense but much higher pace, or just some snail who is very good at defending?
Yeah. How often do you see a centre back with a high overall because their defending is like 92, but the rest of their stats are what you'd equivalent to like a 78 rated player, but because of that high defending, it pushes them up, and that's where I like that strategy of let's filter out players in the marketplace via the stats. Right,
that's a great approach.
You can, but also what I'll do with valuing players sometimes, if I'm going for a pure overall and age profile, I will go like one below age and overall, and I'll do it that way because obviously if it's the end of the season, they're going to transition and become a year older. Happy birthday to all the players in a couple of days, by the way, probably today even. So I like to try and, if it's an 84 rated player who's 20 years old, I'll look for players in the marketplace who are between 83 to 85 and who are 19 to 21. Then I'll slowly widen that gap until I find like maybe players who I think are reasonable, similar value, and then combine that with say like the Airtable and look at recent purchases, because at the end of the day, the recent purchase is what the recent demand was for a player of that price. So if you're way off that, chances are someone's going to go, well, why are you charging me $75 more for a player who sold last week for X amount of price? So there's also that element to it, historical element to it as well.
Yeah, there's many elements, but it's also, I had a couple of negotiations and then people, they say to me like, no, well look, in Ali's tool it's at $13, so I'm going to value him at $13 and that's what I'm going to offer. And then it's like, no.
Copy and paste. By the way.
And then they take that at face value. So there's so much. It's such a complicated thing. the pricing. But yeah, some people, there's not everyone is using the same approaches. They look purely at overall, so it's harder to negotiate sometimes. So it's good to for yourself be clear. This is a fair price based on that, based on how special he is. And we didn't even talk now about progression premium. Really, like how much progress is there already? Did he already progress a lot or not? But do people see that? Are they going to spot that?
I mean, Dio does, doesn't he?
Dio does for sure.
Dio does for sure. I think once we have the 4th season, maybe we get a better idea of it. People could probably already doing it, calculating, if a player has 3 over, if he, you could get all the players who have gained, say they've gained a 9 overall in the last 3, or over the last 3 seasons. So they've gained an average 3 overall per season. Could you then look at the chances and track them and go, if a player on average increases by 3 per season, what are the chances of them going up by 3 the next season? And you can start doing a little bit of a maths, and I guess you can extrapolate out. But the more seasons we have, the more accurate those sort of predictions will be. Obviously, every player path is unique, so that's not necessarily going to work, but it can give you a better prediction, we'll call it, a more accurate one. Won't be totally accurate, but there is definitely a progression premium in that sense.
I wonder if it's going to be a filter in the marketplace. Is it going to give us to us, or will it be too easy and you need to do a little bit more work?
I think you have to do a bit of work for that. I think.
Yeah, if they just give a filter,
you should be able to click like, oh yeah, he's gone up by a gazillion, bloody hell. You go by 10 overall. You shouldn't be able to just like filter out all the people who haven't gone up by 10.
Yeah, but like then exactly, then everyone will buy it. You just say, okay, a max 21-year-old, and he already went up 5 or 6. And then he's going to buy those dudes, right?
That is the equivalent of FM Manager going out and scouting players. That is actively going out and scouting. Oh, he's progressed by quite a lot. His overall's gone up by quite a lot over the last couple of seasons. But if you're just saying, imagine if in real life there's a little marketplace and all the scouts just go, let me just see who's gone up in value by at least 20 million or whatever, bang, and filter out all their players. There's got to be an element of actively scouting out players, and those managers who do that will reap their rewards. Chance favours the prepared. They're prepared for what potential progression they may have. You can't just click a button and that does 50% of their work they've done in seconds instantly. So, yeah.
So I think they shouldn't do it to keep it a bit fun. You have to do a bit of work. And people like Dio, they are, probably spending a lot of time on the marketplace and clicking all those profiles and checking all the progression graphs. And you should be able to reward those guys that they get to find the gems.
A great example is a couple of weeks ago when we were saying, was this a good buy from Dio? And then suddenly I clocked, was it because of progression? And we looked at it and his progression has gone fucking flying through the roof.
Yeah.
And if we wouldn't have looked at progression, we thought it wasn't actually that good of a purchase. But when you look at progression, it was a good purchase. And now if you imagine someone on a marketplace filter can just click on that and see that instantly, and Dio's done the hard work that we, for about 2 minutes, completely didn't think about. So that goes to show that
we are the lobbying
not to have filters on the marketplace for progression.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else about prices? Packs. I have one final thing about best moment to sell, because you tend to see people using this window, end of season, before rollover day. Yeah, I think is a good window.
Best moment to sell. I've previously sold towards the end of the season. When I realised I both need a player for next season, that's when I sell. But when to get is that similar for you as well? Do you sell sort of
I think end of the season, yeah. But,
seems like a
good universal. Maybe start of the season, end of the season.
People sort of get an idea like after progression for the season, do I really want him? You sort of like internally shuffle your players around. But your second piece, when to get the best price. I always have the motto, or is it a motto or like a rule? That if I look at, and I calculate some of the prices of some of my players, if I look at a price of one of my players and go, like I would happily message you and go, Calva, look at this, my uncommon player is now worth X amount. And if I sort of like, I guess brag to an extent, if you brag and you want to tell someone about the price of your player, that's when you need to sell that player if you want to sell him, because that euphoric feeling usually snaps and goes away. I'm taking that from an investment point of view with stocks and shares. When you want to tell your friend that your investment's gone up X amount, that's usually the best time to sell, because that's what everyone else is selling at the same time, realizing the value is overvalued. So when you think a price is too good to be true for your player, it probably is, and sell them. That's the best price to sell, in my opinion.
It reminds me of the past crypto bull run. I should have listened to you.
You agree?
I think I agree. Yeah, but it's always hard to sell. As for me, you're a bit emotionally attached. It's real. You start to develop personalities for players, and
I feel like
can I sell this? Like, can you sell Arango? Arango could sell very well.
No, I can't sell him.
Nah, right?
So, I think once we go through a full retirement cycle, I will happily sell players if I have attachment to them. I won't get attached to players because it's like the new generation. I'm not going to attach to you because I know you're going to be gone like the old guard, the rear guard. You're going to be gone like those previous players. So I won't get attached to you. So I can get rid of you. Once we have that full regeneration, I'll look at some of my players and go, oh, I don't want to sell them. But then if it's 10, 12 seasons down the line, I'll look at a player and go, well, we've been through this before. I should have sold you. Your progression was shit. I should have got rid of you. So I'm not going to learn. I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to get rid of you. So, but yeah, I won't sell Arango. Romo's really pissing me off. 2 years, one progression overall.
Romo.
He's only 18. He's turning 19 tomorrow. Happy birthday to the boy.
Can you say in Dutch? He's on the seesaw. He's like not unstable.
He could go up 27 overall next season, and I'll be laughing. The possibility is slim, but it's not zero.
You never know. I think also it was Eric sold Letic or something, who now became 97. One of the
it's been a couple like that. I think Eric's was in the chat going, why am I selling these players? All these players I'm selling are going up crazy overall. So 2 97 rated players now, by the way, which is huge. Imagine facing a 99 rated player. Bit sick, isn't it?
Tough. Ultimate team.
The ultimate.
All right. I think we're there, but we need a hashtag.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening this far. And as always, to prove that you have been listening this far into this episode, we want to give you the hashtag of today's episode. Last week was a banger, and you all started putting it in the Discord. We want you to do the exact same thing with this hashtag as well. To honour the run of the BFC Mustangs, who, unfortunately, at the last hurdle, failed to make the jump and secure that Titans Cup victory against Biscione Milano. But their run was still super impressive. We want to commemorate that with today's hashtag of #DarkHorse to respect the journey that the Stangs went on to Bahama, BFC, Ballers down to all of them. #DarkHorse. Were you a #DarkHorse in season 3? Or are you hoping to be a #DarkHorse for season 4? So a big thank you to all of you for listening. We will see you on Wednesday the 12th for the pack drop stream. 1 hour before the pack drop happens, we will be there live giving you quizzes, rewards, all the good juicy stuff as we always do. Without further ado, we'll catch you this time next week for an episode of the WenDirkCast.
See you.
Thank you for listening. Bye.